Yes, you lovely people, if you're not already, make sure you give us a follow over on Spotify. The hotel was called the Hotel Schloss Pischlan. Yeah.
What?
Hotel.
You made that up.
I swear down on my life.
No, you've made that
I
up.
swear down on my life, right? If you think I'm lying, type it in at home. The Hotel Schloss Pischlan. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the Fozcast. It is currently right slap bang in the middle of pre-season. Everybody absolutely hates pre-season, don't they, Tom? Because there's no football anywhere apart from internationals, and let's be honest, nobody really cares about internationals, do they?
I don't know, lead up to the World Cup.
What, friendlies?
A little bit more interested, lead up to the World Cup, but definitely not interested in them now.
Right, anyway, so we're slap bang in the middle of pre-season at the minute. There's been a few big transfers already made, the likes of Liverpool and Man City. The England Lionesses team has been announced. We're going to talk about what we've gotten up to on our summer holidays
Why
already.
are you smiling like that?
Because we've had a nice time, haven't we?
We've had a nice time.
We've been on a few holidays. We're back in the country. It is 30 degrees outside. It is absolutely balmy weather. Yeah. Tomasi, where are we starting?
Where are we starting? Well, tell us about your holiday so far, mate.
Okay, it's been a busy one, right? Hasn't it been busy? So the last...
Well, you say busy, yeah, but it's not conventional busy.
No, it's not conventional.
We're not going to get much sympathy for being busy.
For sure. But the season finished, and then quite literally the next day, we, the Cycling GK team, we flew out to Mallorca. It was a bit of a sort of cycling holiday. Let your hair down, have a nice time. It was cool, wasn't it?
It was. We planned to do a bit more cycling than we actually did, but I think, well, one, you've had a long football season.
Yeah.
Two, with everything we do with the channel, with the podcast, it's been a busy year.
Yeah, we've been working hard, haven't we? So we deserve to let our hair down a little bit. Didn't we?
And I think this kind of cycling took a bit of a backseat, and we did just chill.
We went out on the first day. We did the cycling. It was lovely. Went up to the Col de Soyer climb. Went and did that. It was beautiful. Got back, had a few beers, had a nice time, and then spent the next 3 or 4 days doing something very similar to that. To be fair, it was Baltin, wasn't it?
It was, mate. It was, really good. Then you went off to
Barbados from there. So I met the family back at Heathrow. We flew out to Barbados. 10 days. It was beautiful. We go every year to Barbados. What a lovely place. And then we went on to Miami for 5 days. And then after Miami, I actually stayed over in America and met you guys. You and Frank, the editor, met us over there because we were due to meet the guys in Spotify in LA. And we were supposed to do a couple podcasts, but even that didn't materialise, did it?
It didn't, no. We got let down by one, but the trip wasn't really about that, was it? We kind of went and met with the guys from Spotify, with the Ringer, had a couple of meetings. When you deal with these people, obviously stateside, it's all very well doing Zooms, isn't it? But it's nice to get in front of people, have something nice to eat, have a couple of beers, and that's how relationships are forged.
Exactly. It was banging. We had a lovely trip. We did a little bit of sightseeing, had some lovely meals along the way. And that's it now. We're back, and it's back to business, back to sticking podcasts out. So let's talk a bit of football. Come on. Should we start with the England men's team?
Yeah, let's start with the England men's team. So actually, while we were in LA, we were in a bar, having a salad and a sparkling water.
Yep.
You know, and then the result came through, didn't it? 4-0 to Hungary.
One of the results, yeah. But this is the one we're talking about.
The latest result,
yeah. The Hungary result.
What do you make of it?
Okay, so for me, honestly, personally, I internationals at this time of year are so difficult to predict, and when it's not a major tournament, I honestly think this Nation League thing, on the back of a very busy season, it's just, you're not going to get your best football. You're not, are you? You're not going to get everybody giving it absolutely everything, because everybody, like I said, has had a long season anyway. They've played loads of games. Everyone's tired. They all just want to go on holiday. I won't lie to you, they do. They just want to go on holiday, want to let their hair down, and they want to forget about football for a month or so, and then they want to look forward to next season. So it doesn't surprise me that they've gone and lost games. Ideally, you want them to win matches, but honestly, it's not the end of the world. It's not.
Look at, you've got Mason Mount, Kane, Declan Rice. They've all played 50 or more games this season.
Exactly.
So's every other team, though, Ben.
Yeah, true that. But I think the thing with England is every one of the main starting players for England play for the big boys, play for the Chelseas, the Man Cities, the Man Uniteds. There's a lot more pressure attached to that. Do you know what I mean? It's week in, week out pressure where you're expected to win. And I think this is the bit that people don't take into account, where the mental toll that takes on you. It really does. It tires you out. It fatigues your whole body and your mind, so that when you get to the end of the season, the games like this Nation League thing, they're not the most important games in the world,
They're
are
not,
they?
but is there a case to be made for momentum with the England team?
Maybe, but even that, honestly, I don't think it has the biggest part to play. It would have been brilliant if we'd have won, for sure, and everybody would have been buzzing. I'm even reading about Gareth Southgate. People are saying that he should probably just get sacked now. Like, he needs to go.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, mate. Come on. Like,
I think it was the nature of. I mean, look at the results, right? So Hungary away, obviously away from home for England, 1-0.
Yeah.
These things happen,
of course.
right? These things happen from time to time.
Yeah.
You'll get beat. Germany,
A draw.
right? Okay, and it looked like his strongest team.
I watched a bit of that game, to be fair, and England got absolutely popped. They did. They got absolutely popped. We scored a very late penalty, Harry Kane. Germany looked really good, though. Like, we were watching the Germany game, weren't we? In the pub the other day in LA. And they battered Italy, didn't they? They absolutely battered them. 5-2 or 5-3, I think it was. Absolutely battered them. So a 1-1 draw is not the end of the world, even though, like I say, it was a bit of a one-sided game, to be fair.
Well, it's a result,
Yeah.
and we weren't good. I think then you go to
Italy.
Wembley. Well, yeah, and what was that? 0-0?
0-0, yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, again, weren't great.
Yeah. But
We weren't great.
he's mixing up the players, isn't he? I mean,
Yeah.
what do the fans want? Right, here's a question then. Do the fans want England to be playing the best team and how they're going to be playing in the tournament? Or should he be looking at all the players and Bellingham and Jarrod Bowen and Tomori and people like that?
That's exactly what he should be doing. He should be giving all sorts of players a go. He gave Ramsdale a go in the last game against Hungary, and rightly so as well. I think it's just a perfect opportunity to rest as many players as you possibly can and rotate your squad. And he did that. And you're not going to get great results. You're not, because you haven't got that cohesion. They're not used to playing with each other. But they have at least now got that little bit of experience where they've played first-team football for England.
And they've lost.
They've lost, yeah. But again, no. The fact that people are calling for Gareth Southgate's head, I just think is absolutely
You've
crazy.
got to trust the process, haven't you? Like, now we're going into a kind of December. I guess most of it's going to be played in December.
Yeah.
Which takes a little bit of the fatigue argument out of it. If the lads can have a few weeks rest now, it's not going to be as hot as I thought. I thought initially that it was going to be 30, 35 degrees. No, it's like
it's mid-20s. Yeah, it's mid-20s.
Humidity's high.
Yeah, it's not even that. I don't think that's the end of the world. I don't think the weather is going to be a massive factor. I really don't. Did you see David Beckham was saying the other day? He said something along the lines of, I think because it's halfway through a season, the players won't be as fatigued as what they are normally at the end of the season.
Point I was making,
And I think he's got a fair point, to be fair to him. However, everybody's in the same boat. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's in the same boat. The thing is as well, though, in Germany, you got to think as well, Germany and all the other teams like that, they have a winter break. They normally have a winter break. So when they're used to shutting down, we're used to playing through that Christmas period.
Yeah, interesting.
So maybe that might play into our hands a little bit as well.
Yeah, that was one of the points which I did see, which we spoke about just before. I saw a couple of articles saying there's an over-reliance on Harry Kane.
Yeah, well, why
he's our
not?
best player, isn't he?
Obviously, there has to be an over-reliance on him because he's our best player. So why wouldn't you rely on him?
Is that not just quite a strange argument to make?
Well, I saw as well the other day. Do you know what I saw the other day? The people were saying, do you know the Champions League final? Yeah, Thibaut Courtois, man of the match. He was incredible. Like some of the saves he was making, absolutely bonkers, right? And I saw the Real Madrid president came out and said, people are saying we only won the Champions League final because our goalkeeper made lots of saves, and he said, well, that's because he's our goalkeeper and he's very good. He said actually, he goes, it's not like we found him just walking down the street. And my God, it's exactly it. There's a reason why Thibaut Courtois can make these unbelievable saves and why he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world, because he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
There's certain days where, Karim Benzema is going to be the star of the show and he's going to bag it. There are times when the poor little goalkeeper, that one, he's going to shine as well.
Exactly. That's how the world works. That's why they earn like 200 grand a week or whatever it is, because they are world-class players. So if you've got a world-class player in your team like Harry Kane, you use him.
Play for him.
You play him as much as you can. And when you get a penalty, he will take it and he will probably score. And when he gets a good chance, he will probably score that as well. Because that's how it works. The good players deserve the money, deserve the plaudits, because they are very good at playing football.
It's someone getting the ball out wide and going, oh, well, Harry's open, but let me just pull it back for Mason Mount, because maybe I've over-relied on him today.
No chance, mate. You just, it's football simple. Give the ball to the good ones.
To the best players.
To the good ones. If you're not as good at doing something as somebody in front of you that's good, pass it forward to that good one and let them do it.
Nice. Do you think, so with Southgate, obviously after this World Cup, he's got a couple of years left on his deal.
Yeah.
I do think this is the time now, because he's got a lot of players that are reaching maturity. I think he's got to have a World Cup.
Right, here's a question then. What do you think is an achievement for England at this World Cup? Actually, let's change that then. Say if England only managed to get to the quarterfinals of this World Cup, do you think Gareth Southgate gets sacked?
Well, you answer that question.
I'm asking you.
It depends on the circumstance, doesn't it?
What, if we lose to Brazil or something?
If we lose to Brazil on penalties, for example, and it's like 8-7 on penalties, and England have played really well, I think if England go out and they've nicked through the group stages, been crap, and then we get beat 2-0 by, I don't know, whoever, Germany or Portugal, they're not even there, are they? Somebody, then yeah, I think there's a case for it.
Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think? I think a lot of it is going to have to do with the style of football he plays.
Agreed.
Because if he goes to the World Cup and he plays his best team, but in an attacking formation, front-footed, trying to really go and beat teams, instead of just going, right, let's try and win this 1-0, 2-1, 2-0, really going, yeah, we'll do it. Because teams like Brazil, teams like Argentina, the real top teams, Spain, they will go and try and beat teams. Germany, they will go and beat teams like they did to Italy the other day, 5-2. They will just keep going relentlessly. Whereas I worry with England, sometimes we're happy to try and scrape through. And I think if he can change the mentality of the team to go for it, and the nation can see that, I think they will get behind him.
Interesting point. I agree. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll be sweet though. We've got a banging team. We've got a banging team. Nations League, anything, I promise you. Nation League, all the lads will have guaranteed been turning up for England duty this summer, and I would have just been going, oh, for God's sake, like, come on, hurry up, let's get this out of the way. And it sounds bad, but I guarantee you that's how it's gone.
It does sound bad, and I think a lot of fans will go, no, that's not true. But
it is.
Yeah,
I guarantee you it is. It's the way it is. When you've had a long season, you just want to break. It's not necessarily your body, it's your mind. You need a break mentally. You need to get away, switch off completely from football, and just relax and reset for next season.
No, fair enough. So obviously the men's, it's a Winter World Cup.
Yep.
Before that, we've got the Ladies Euros.
Yep.
First game July the 6th. 23 lady squad got announced this week. We've got Austria, Norway, Northern Ireland. What are you expecting from us?
I think England have got a very good chance. I do. I really think they've got very good. There's a couple teams you've got to worry about. But I would say I think we'd probably get semi-finals at least.
We have to.
I'd assume we'd probably get at least semi-finals. Buzzing for a couple of the Lionesses that we actually know personally. Lottie Wubben-Moy, Beth Mead, Hannah Hampton.
Yep.
Especially Hannah Hampton and Lottie Wubben-Moy, first time call up into a major tournament. So yeah, really delighted for them. You know the video we did with the Arsenal ladies and Jordan Nobbs as well. They were top class, weren't they?
They were great.
They were absolutely top class. If you haven't watched this video, by the way, go and watch it on the Cycling GK YouTube channel. Some of the finishing was top draw.
Yeah,
top draw.
Link it down below. And also, got to have a big mention for Jill Scott.
Yeah.
So I said to you before, didn't I? I said, how many caps is Jill Scott for England?
Yeah, I knew she had 100, but 153.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's just bonkers.
Yeah,
153 caps. And that's brilliant, by the way. Do you know why? I guarantee you, don't get me wrong, Jill Scott is an incredible player and she deserves to be in the squad full stop anyway. However, having somebody around the place that's got that level of experience is absolutely invaluable. She's done this so many times before. She's been there, she's seen it. And what she can do is help every other player as well. Help the younger players, explain to them what happens, the pressures, the stresses, how you're going to feel, how to deal with it. I think obviously Steph Houghton missing out, it's disappointing for her, for sure. But you've got to understand the manager's decision, because if she's not good to go, it's another slot that it's a risky thing to do. And even a lot of people I saw saying maybe they should have just brought Steph Houghton out anyway to help and just be around the team. I disagree with that. I don't think that's a thing. I think if you're not ready to go and you're not fit enough, then boom, support the ladies from home, do some commentary, all that kind of stuff, but leave the team to it.
It's a bit of a distraction, isn't it?
No, yeah, it is.
If she's not playing.
Yeah, not in a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way, because she wouldn't be a distraction, because she's obviously a lovely person and she would help everybody out. But I think that's just the way it goes, you know. If you're not in the squad, leave them to it, let them crack on, and you can help from afar.
The other thing, I think, Fozzie, when you get a player that is coming back from injury or isn't fully fit, look at the men's national team over the years. When has it really worked out? So you remember when, like, Wazza came back and he wasn't quite fit, Bex, and they never come back and do it, do they?
Nah, like even Harry Kane had a bad ankle, didn't he, for I think it was, like, I don't know, a few years ago or whatever, but yeah, it's not the same. I think you need to have had a good few months under your belt of sort of flying and back to normality and all that kind of stuff. And obviously what they've done with Steph is they've said to her, obviously months ago, said, listen, if you can get back playing by this date and show us that you're good to go and you get this many games under your belt, etc., then cool, sure, you're going to be in the team, you'll be in the squad. And she obviously just hasn't managed to do that. And it is what it is. That's how football works. If you get an injury like that, it can take a long time to heal. So yeah, it's a shame for her. But like I say, you know, there's plenty more talent in that squad as well.
Yeah, I'm going to put this out there, right? I'm going to make a prediction right now. Might be the jet lag. I am going, and I genuinely believe this, for a double. I reckon Euros and the men for the World Cup. I reckon there's going to be a double. This is going to be the biggest year for football in the country ever. Double win. Heard it here first.
Okay. I love your optimism, Tom. Maybe blind optimism. However, I do like it though. No, I like it. Mate, I'm like you. I'll be supporting them from the rafters. You know what I mean? But that's a big ask.
I'm going to have a little fiver on that today.
Matt, as long as we play some nice attacking football and we go for it and we put a smile on the nation's face, like we have done for the Euros, for the World Cup before that, boom, that will do, mate. Job done.
You know what? You're right, mate. I think giving everyone a World Cup of fun. Like, you look at the Euros and the World Cups that we've just had, and everyone remembers it where you were, and it didn't quite pan out, but they're good memories, aren't they?
Exactly that, mate.
It adds to the kind of Italia 90, Euro 96 vault, doesn't it?
Yeah,
of good memories.
Yeah, by the way, Euros, like the Euro final was like, it's in like a month's time, a year ago in a month's time. Do you know what I mean? How fast has that gone, by the way? That has rattled by, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
My gosh.
I think because obviously we're not used to having them consecutive. It's a nice treat. Right, what we're gonna look at now is pre-season. So you've had the first couple of weeks. So is it fair to say the first couple of weeks players kind of let their hair down and relax? So obviously you're without a club at the moment. So talk to me about your fitness regime in the off season.
Most clubs, right? Most clubs will say you need to have at least 10 days or 2 weeks off. Just shut down. Like, don't even worry about going to the gym or anything. Just switch your mind off, go away, go on holiday, take the family away, have a nice time. That's what they say to you. Obviously, don't go boozing or eating too many rich foods, all that kind of stuff. Try and keep yourself in some sort of a trim condition. And then after that, that's when they want you to start doing stuff. Most of the time for pre-season, you'll normally get 4, 5 or 6 weeks off, right? So like I say, you've got a good 2 or 3 weeks after that initial holiday to really start putting the work in. That's when you start getting in the gym, and every player gets a really detailed sort of training schedule anyway.
Oh, will they?
Yeah, they'll all get a training program, every single player, and it'll be completely individual. It'll be based on what they do, how much running they need to do, how much high intensity they need to do. And as long as they stick to it, most of the time they'll come back absolutely fine. You do get the odd player turn up for pre-season training training, and you just, as soon as you see them, like, you think, whoa.
Even these days?
Even these days,
Really?
mate. You'll see them come in and you just think, oh, you've had a good summer. You have had an absolutely belting summer. And a lot of the time, it's like an older player, more experienced player. But I'll be honest with you, most of the time, it's because they know that in pre-season, that's what pre-season training is for. You know what I mean? Pre-season training, from the day you turn up to the first game of the season, it's normally about 6 weeks, yeah? So you've got 6 weeks to work your socks off, get your body fat down, get trim, get match ready, get sharp, all that kind of stuff. And it's normally enough. It's normally plenty of time. So it's not really a massive deal, but for sure you do see some come through. And
is there a bit of teasing going on?
Yeah, a little bit of teasing. And when they first bring around those like the calipers and they start doing the body fats and stuff like that, like, people are always hovering for, like, the chunky players. People are hovering and going, what's his belly fat? What's his belly fat saying? And then when it spins round to like 18 or 19 on the belly fat, everyone's like, geez, damn. Yeah,
that's
so
how it goes.
Yeah, it's horrible. Like, the goalies hate it because goalies are always big uns, aren't they? Kind of thing. We're all big lads.
I remember last pre-season, you were like, you were like, came back and like, nah, I was like, body fat was low. I'm
body
good.
fat was decent, yeah. But you're always just nervous because you don't know. Like, you look at yourself and you think, I think I'm all right, but you just never know. And it's not until you see it. Like, so people carry fat in different positions. I carry mine on my belly. So, like, the belly fat one is like, when they're pinching it, you're looking at the little dial thinking, don't go past 16. Don't go. Oh, thank God for that. Like, that's the only place I carry fat. So, like, my back, my legs, everything out, no fat on me whatsoever. I'll just carry it there.
So what are you doing then? So I think if you were on Miami on holiday, you might have seen Mr. Foster running down the beach.
I was doing a bit of running this year. So what I normally do is I always take my cycling shorts with me. I'll always take my cycling shoes as well, just in case they've got bikes or something. I can rent something out. I know if I've got my cycling shorts, my bib shorts, I can go on the bike in the gym. But we stayed at a few different places this year to what we normally have. And the bike in the gym was brutal in every single gym. Honestly, every gym, it was absolutely brutal. Like, these proper old school rubbish bikes, you know, the massive saddles you get on them, like really thick, padded, massive saddles. Like, it's horrible. And I remember going in all the gyms on the first day, looking at them and thinking, oh, for God's sake. So I thought, do you know what, sod it, I'm going to do some running. I'm going to run and see how it feels. I've never ran in my life, honestly. I've played 20 years as a footballer, and I've never ran. I've never done it. Because of my knees and stuff like that, I just never done it. But I thought, sod it, I'm going to give it a go and just gauge my knee. How was it? Brilliant.
You quite enjoyed it, didn't you?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it, right? When you're running, by the way, your heart rate just jacks, like straight up, rapid, and just stays there. So in Barbados, I was running on the treadmill every day. And then when we got to Miami, we were literally staying on Miami Beach. So there's like a big Miami Beach walkway that runs literally next to the beach, and it's miles. It's forever, in fact, yeah. So every morning I was waking up at about 8 o'clock. I'd quickly get my trainers on, go for a run go half an hour out, half an hour in. And it was roasting hot. It was boiling. But it's just, I reckon if I lived in a place like Miami, I would do that every single day. They're so active out there. Like at 8 o'clock in the morning, it is just runners everywhere, back and forth.
It's a different way of life. Before you got to LA, me and Frank were there a day before you, and we walked from Venice Beach up to Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah.
And within that couple of mile stretch, we saw hundreds and hundreds of runners, hundreds and hundreds of cyclists.
Yeah, just people outside.
Yeah, but also we saw like a big organised outdoor like HIIT class.
Yeah,
but I'm talking big.
They're massive out there.
Yeah, big. Then we saw like a volleyball club where there must have been 50 or 60 volleyball players getting tutorials, then going out and playing. Half a mile up the road, they were playing hockey, like on rollerblades.
I know.
And then on the beach, there was like a massive spin class going on.
It's mad,
spin bikes on the beach.
It's mad. It's bonkers. Yeah, it's I'd love to live abroad somewhere nice and warm, and I swear I'd be out every single day. One thing I will say about Miami though, it is just full of beautiful people everywhere. It is ridiculous, mate. Honestly, like it's just like a magnet for beautiful people. Like you're running down the beach and there's just winners everywhere. You're thinking, oh my God, I hope my wife don't know. I hope my wife don't know why I'm coming running every morning. Yeah, it was incredible. Like
people walking down going, "Ooh, that ugly Ben Foster was down here this morning."
I'm like a 2 out of 10 out there. Like they're all winners, mate. It's incredible.
Wow, because you're a 3 over it. Right, okay. Whilst we were away, Fixtures got released.
Yes.
So the Prem Fixtures. So football fan, I'm looking at the fixtures and you're totting up in your head and you go and kind of, I look at Wolves and you go, right, first 6 games or whatever. Then you're looking at, okay, well, look at where the points are coming from. Then you look at away games, fixtures, Newcastle away, things like that.
Why are you looking for Newcastle away?
It's for the day out.
So you're thinking a day out, you can stay out at night as well, make a whole like weekend of it, basically.
Course. Yeah.
Boom.
So normally it's with like the lads.
Yeah.
So like when you've been playing over the years, we'll kind of arrange the nights out around.
And then
that.
I'll meet you after the game.
Yeah.
We'll have a night out and
Yeah.
then travel back together on the Sunday.
Now I'm a bit older and my boys are a bit older.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, so I'm looking Bournemouth away.
Yeah, nice.
So I can kind of go, right, take the boys down, have a weekend at the beach, seaside, and go and see Frankie Boy, the editor.
Yeah, so that's completely different for footballers. Yeah, so the reason why we look at the fixtures as footballers is you always look for your first 3 or 4 fixtures. That's the first thing you'll look at is your first 3 or 4 fixtures because you always want to get off to a good start. Always, right? And I'll tell you one thing, right? You do not ever want to get a newly promoted side on the first day of the season.
Really?
You never want to get a newly promoted side because that is like that first game of the season back in the Premier League is like their cup final. It is. It's like their Wembley. It is. They have got energy to burn. They will give everything they've got. And no matter who you are, you will find it difficult playing against a team that's just been newly promoted. So yeah, you always look for your first 3 or 4 fixtures because you want to get off to a good start. If you've got some of the big boys in the first 3 or 4 games, you are subconsciously you're thinking, oh well, that's 0 points from 4 games.
And don't a lot of clubs incentivize the players on the first few games of the season as well?
Yeah, I've been at clubs in the past where the first 4 games are like double win bonuses. I've been at clubs where the first 4 games and the last 4 games will be double win bonuses because it's an incentive to get off to a good start and it's also an incentive to finish strong and try and sort of claim those last few places because clubs get paid on their finishing position as well. They get more money the higher up the league they finish. So it's an incentive to do that. But yeah, so you're looking for your first 3 or 4 games, then I will always look for the Christmas fixtures because I want to know where I'm going to be on Christmas Day, for example. Will I be able to have Christmas dinner at home with the family? Will I be able to stay at home on Christmas night? You'll look at New Year's Eve. You look for your birthday because you're always thinking, oh, if we're playing here on a Saturday and it's around my birthday, I might be able to book something in with the family to go for a nice meal or something. And then you're just looking for little clusters of naughty games.
Right.
Yeah. You look for like a tough month. You look for a sort of. We had one last season. I think it was October or something where we played 4 of the top 6 in like almost consecutively, and you're looking at it and thinking, oh God, I hope we've got enough points by then because by the time we get to that, it's naughty. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
So when the fixtures get announced, do the lads get on the group chat and say, "Ooh, look at this little run in," or is that something that goes on?
No, not really. That's the sort of thing you will look at when you're back in pre-season training.
Okay, so like first day back.
Not even necessarily the first day back. It's kind of, I'd say it's within a couple of weeks of the season, you'll start to sort of get your head together sort of thing. You'll look at the fixtures with the lads and you'll be like, right lads, we need to get off to a good start because then we've got this coming and then that could win that, should be able to do this, that, whatever.
So tell me about the first day back. Obviously we've done some YouTube videos in the past where you're getting your like pre-tests, first day back tests. Yeah. But what's it like chitter-chatter amongst the lads?
Yeah, it's good. So like I say, the first couple of days were always just testing days. It's like, it is quite literally body fat. It's weights. It's sort of gym work to see how strong your muscles are, all that kind of stuff, just so that they can compare it in like a month's time or something. But the chit chat is literally about, it will be about players that might have already moved, players that potentially will be moving, possible incomings, signings. So, do you know what? Like I've never had in my career where when I've been a goalkeeper, where I'm like wondering or worrying about another goalkeeper coming in and taking my spot. I've never really had it, to be honest with you. But you can imagine for any other outfield player, if you're like a striker, you know there's only normally 1 or 2 strikers on that starting 11. Yeah. So if you're a striker and your club is getting linked with another striker, especially when it's a lot of money, it's always a bit like, oh, this is a bit of a nervy, worrying time, isn't it?
I guess you've just got to take it. It's like that with a lot of things, isn't it? Imagine like with Newcastle and the money they've got flying around now. None of those players will be thinking.
Quite literally, none of them.
I'm kind of home and home.
Probably only Sam Maximin, to be honest with you. He's probably the only player there that must just be thinking, well, it doesn't bother me either way because I know I'm the best player on the team, so I'm going to be starting. But yeah, literally everybody else is just constantly watching over their shoulder because they'll be, like a team like Newcastle, are going to be getting linked with everybody, every single position, every single player they'll be getting linked with. So yeah, it's a bit of a sort of, nervy, unsettling time, really.
And the first couple of weeks in pre-season, a lot of people may not know this, but you tend to do double sessions as well, don't you? So I all know, been obviously mates for so long, that first 2 or 3 weeks of the season, you're not good for much, are you?
No, it's probably...
it's kind of just...
It's a month, mate. We have a month, right? So you always have about a month of double sessions, and it is brutal. You're just so tired all the time because people... Like I've had this conversation with mates before where they've gone, yeah, but it's like, I work a 12-hour day, and I'm like, yeah, I understand that, and it's different. It's hard work for sure. However, but when you're going out every day and you're playing football and you're getting kicked and you're getting beaten and you're getting bruised and you're twisting and you're turning and your tendons, your ankles, your ligaments, all that kind of stuff are strained and sore and swollen and inflamed. And you literally just, like, especially when you get older, you finish training, every session you finish, you just go and jump straight in the ice bath. And you just sit there for 10 minutes thinking, oh, God, please help me out. Please help my body out. And then later on at night, you've got to go through the whole process of getting warmed up, getting good to go again, doing the training session, which is normally a really hard football session, straight in the ice bath again. And when you do that consecutively for 3 or 4 weeks, mate, by the end of that, you're a bit broken. It's a tough time for you.
Do you notice a difference with the ice bath then? Is that like serious for you?
Oh, massive. Yeah, it's massive. So it's at this time of the year where masseurs are worth their weight in gold because they genuinely help get rid of so many sores and pains and aches and all that kind of stuff. You have to really step up your gym work to do stretching before and after. You have to do that. But the ice bath, I've got to say, is just an absolute lifesaver. Do you know that Game Ready thing I've got?
Yeah.
So I've got this machine I've got at home, guys. It's called a Game Ready. It's like an icing compression machine, isn't it? Basically, It's like, say if I've got a sore knee, for example, it's like this sleeve. You pull over your knee, you fill this little box with ice and water, and you press go, and it compresses the life out of it and sort of like freezes it at the same time. It just helps reduce all the swelling, all the pains just seems to go away.
You've lived in one of them for a while.
Oh my God, did I live in one? For years I lived in one of them. Constantly had it on after every single training session. But again, though, being an older player, that's the beauty of being an older player, that, most clubs are clever enough to look after you a little bit and be like, listen, don't bother coming out for the training session tonight. You still have to come to training. Yeah. You can just do some gym work, or you can just do this. Don't need to come out and batter yourself quite so much.
Yeah, it's amazing because I think people with the world of football, obviously, it's a great job, right? And a large percentage of footballers get a real nice financial package, but they are normal guys and girls, because I remember, I think it was last pre-season or the pre-season before, I won't name who, but we went in to do something at the football club, and we've gone in there and there's a player on the bike, and it's like middle of the off season.
Yeah.
And I remember we chatted to him, what are you doing in here? And then the answer was, I just want to get away from the wife and kids for an hour. Or just sort of pop in and have a little ride on the bike.
Well, this, right? Okay, so this is where not every preseason, but most preseason you'll have a little preseason tour, yeah? You'll go away somewhere. Whether it's a lot of teams go to Austria. There's the famous Tony Pulis story of it always go to the same hotel in Austria, yeah? I still even remember the name because I went there 3 times with him, yeah? I went there 3 times. The hotel was called the Hotel Schloss Pischlan, yeah?
What?
Hotel.
You made that up.
I swear down on my life.
No, you've made that up.
I swear down on my life, right? If you think I'm lying, type it in at home. The Hotel Schloss Pischlan. It's a ski resort in the winter. In the summer, it's just a normal hotel. It is beautiful, mate. I am not joking. It is oldie worldy. It is beautiful. in the Austrian hills, you've got hills, like literally no matter where you look, there are hills everywhere. I loved going abroad. Like Austria, like for me, Austria was always one of my favourite places. Like I said, this hotel that I mentioned there, Schloss Pischlan, and we went to a place with Watford a few years back. Mate, this Austria is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been, honestly. Again, this place is like, it's a ski resort in the winter. It's an unbelievable like health resort in the summer. It's massive, this hotel that we went to with Watford. At the same time we were there, we had one of the Klitschko brothers were staying there as well.
Oh, nice.
That's how kind of like nice it is that you're getting that kind of guest. Dan Batman, who's actually Austrian, is like, Ben, this place is like proper. He says like the people that stay here are like billionaires and that. It is incredible, right? It's massive. But yeah, they've got this massive spa area, and because it's sort of like German, it's they've got like a massive nude area, they've got massive nude saunas, they've got outdoor pools. It's beautiful, mate. And yeah, we went there and spent 10 days there, and I was thinking, wow, what a place. I would go back there with the kids, honestly. I would take the kids there because it's you could do anything there. You could do it's such an active place.
What's your favourite pre-season tour you've ever been on? Like your most favourite place? Because obviously when you were at United, you did South Africa. Did you do America with them?
No, I did South Africa, and I did China once as well.
Where's your favourite ever?
My favourite ever was at West Brom, and we went to California.
Nice.
We stayed in Sacramento, and honestly, we had the time of our lives.
Is that when Boas got lobbed from about 80 yards?
No. That is not. That's the season before. I was not there then. However, so we've gone out to America. We've gone out to Sacramento, and me and Boaz were sharing rooms. And Boaz was my best mate at the time, anyway. So it was just absolutely brilliant. And where we were staying in Sacramento, you literally would come out of our hotel, turn left, and then take another quick left, and there's a little row of bars. And we managed to get a couple little nights out there, to be fair. We would just sort of like, we're going for a cocktail.
Was that under TP?
No, I think it was Alan Irvine, actually. And we're just going for a nice little coffee at about 7 o'clock at night, but you just end up having just a couple, nothing major. But it was lovely, nice little way to relax. And when we stayed in Sacramento, one day we'd finished training, and the manager said, right, lads, listen, you've been brilliant this week. You've worked so hard, right? You can have the day off tomorrow. You know, just do what you want, have a nice time, but you've got to be back for dinner. Like, dinner's at 8 o'clock at night. Be respectful. Don't go and get drinking and all that kind of stuff, but make sure you're back for dinner. And everyone's like, cool. If you're giving us a day off, cool. We'll all be back for dinner. So I like my golf. Boaz loves his golf. Craig Gardner is an incredible golfer, by the way. He plays off like 2 or 3. He's incredible at golf.
Can he kick the ball as hard as he can hit a football?
He's beautiful, mate. He is straight as a line every single time.
Nice.
And then we took the kit man with us as well, and we were like, we want to go and play a really nice golf course. So we were looking around, and Boaz just chucked it out there and went, what about Pebble Beach? Oh, shit, yeah. What about Pebble Beach? And so got the maps up, Pebble Beach. Mate, it's 4 hours away. It's 4 hours away from where we were staying. So we went, I'm going to ring him up and just see if we can get a tee time. I'm just going to hope for the best. So he rings him up. He's on the phone to Pebble Beach, and he went, lads, 6:30 a.m. And we've all gone, oh, you've got to be joking me. We're 4 hours away, 6:30 a.m.
You went, didn't you?
Do it. Sod it. Bucket, right?
How did you get there?
So we basically had to like quickly rearrange it. Got picked up at 2 a.m.
Drove.
We got a driver to come in one of the, you know, like they have like Escalades and whatever they're called, Suburbans and stuff like that. Big vans sort of thing. Picked us up at 2 o'clock in the morning from the hotel, drove us all there. We took our pillows, we took like blankets and stuff. We were sleeping in the back. 6:30 tee off at Pebble Beach. It was beautiful, mate. Absolutely beautiful.
Was it worth it?
It was 100% worth it.
Did you win?
I don't know. I wouldn't have said I won, but I played decent. I remember, you know the hole on. Do you remember on Tiger Woods back in the day, Tiger Woods Golf? There's that one hole
over the water.
Over the water, yeah. It's like a par 5, I think it is. It's got a par on that. But the first hole, right? The first hole, there's a row of houses on your right hand side, and everybody's like, "Listen, just keep it left, and you're fine. It's fine, mate." Snap hook, boom. All I hear is a roof's getting clanged, balls going clink, clink, clink. I'm thinking, oh shit, what a bad start this is.
You're a wild golfer.
But it doesn't matter, mate. We're playing Pebble Beach. I had a smile on my face all the way around. It was beautiful.
You are like the real life version of Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, mate.
Like you can spank a ball a mile, but it is
any direction.
Get you on the tee, On the green. Oh, you're deadly on the green, aren't you?
Yeah. But honestly, I can hit it a long way, but I have got the worst snap hook in me ever. So that was my favourite trip, Sacramento. It was beautiful.
Right, very good. Right, finally, pre-season matches. So a little bit like the Nations League, where obviously there's more up for grabs than that. It's the Nations League. But with pre-season matches, how...
Friendlies.
Yeah, like pre-season friendlies. Yeah. How much emphasis is put on result, or is it just purely kind of strategic and kind of feeling your way in?
Right, I'll tell you a story about how Tony Pulis used to look at pre-season fixtures, yeah, and pre-season games, right? He honestly would say to us, he would say, lads, I do not care about the result tonight, yeah? I do not care. He says, I want you to run as hard as you can run. I want you to put the sprints in, the long distance, all the stats need to be super high, yeah? He says, but the football, he says, I don't care. He says, I do not care. He says, you're knackered. You've been training like you wouldn't believe. We would always train in the morning as well. So if our kickoff was, say, I don't know, 5 o'clock in the evening or whatever, we would have already trained that morning. And I mean a proper training session, running session, everything proper. And then we would go into the game, and he would know full well that we were knackered, and he knew that the quality of the football wasn't going to be there. But he was open and honest, and it was brilliant, to be fair. And he was like, lads, I don't care. I really don't care. We've got to play these games out here because we've come out to America or we've come out to wherever we are. We've got to play the games, but I honestly couldn't care less.
So is it just conditioning?
It's just conditioning. He would literally look at it as another chance to run around as much as you can and get your fitness levels up. But I'd say it's, you know what? I'd say it's fairly similar for most managers. I'd say it's a bit different if you are one of the big boys. So when I went on pre-season tour to South Africa with Man United, for example, we actually played. You always end up playing Orlando Pirates and Kaiser Chiefs, and crazy atmosphere. Brilliant though, absolutely brilliant. And the last game of the tour, right, is like always the final. So you play like a little round robin kind of thing, and then you play the final game. And it was 0-0 at full time, and it went to penalties. And I was in goal at the time, so I took the penalty. Bear in mind, it's a friendly. It's just a friendly. I took my penalty. I hit the crossbar, gone over the bar. I'm like, oh, for God's sake. Chris Eagles did the same, put it over or something, right? And I'm thinking, it's only a friendly. It's not the end of the world. They won on penalties. They won, yeah? So we've gone back into the changing rooms. Alex Ferguson has nailed us, mate. I mean, nailed us.
What, like how bad?
Nailed us. Like, he's fuming. He's fuming that they've lost a pre-season friendly. Like, absolutely fuming. Made a point of shouting at me and Chris and going, and you two, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, like, it's only a friendly, but that's the level for you. That is Sir Alex Ferguson for you. His levels were just always there, and that's why he was so successful. So I'm sure it is a little bit different for the bigger boys, but I honestly wouldn't read too much into pre-season friendlies.
And what about these post-season tournaments that some of them do now?
Wow, what a load of rubbish, mate. It's bonkers. Honestly, it's absolutely bonkers. A surefire way of just burning players out even more. Do you know what I mean? And I know there's a lot of money involved and it's sponsorships and all that kind of stuff, but a post-season tour is just, honestly, would be my idea of absolute hell. Like, I couldn't think of anything worse. Like I say, I know as soon as the season finishes, I just want to shut down for 3 weeks.
What I can't get over, though, is as well, and this is the thing with international, you can kind of see it with like managers and the debate about international players, but like a post-season tour, say they're going out to America, we've just come back from LA, right?
Yeah.
The travel,
the jet lag,
fucks you, doesn't it?
It absolutely knackers you. The jet lag, like, so we're doing this at what, 4 in the afternoon?
You're asleep on the couch.
I was asleep an hour ago. Honestly, I was asleep.
He was sleeping on the couch whilst I was preparing the podcast.
I was asleep on that couch.
He's the talent.
An hour ago. I woke up at 2:30 this morning.
I did as well and had dinner.
Yeah. He woke up at 2:30 in the morning, had some dinner out the fridge, like chili con carne. I woke up at 2:30 and just watched telly. I went to the gym. Like, it's ridiculous. And so I had to have a sleep on there. So the jet lag, like, it proper does you, doesn't it? It's a real thing. So yeah, I'm not a fan of these post-season tours at all, mate.
Right, that's it. Pretty much done and dusted, Fozzie. I know you just wanted to talk quickly about a couple of transfers, though, didn't you?
Yeah. So at the moment, at this time of writing, there's been 3 monster transfers so far. Okay, monster. First one is Liverpool signing Darwin Núñez. I've only seen probably what most people have seen, the games that he's played for Benfica in the Champions League, and he looks a player, by the way. He looks absolutely incredible. And one thing you've got to say about Liverpool, they don't get many transfers wrong, do they? Especially big boys.
No.
Especially big boys. They don't get many transfers wrong. So he's kind of a sort of striker, front three, left winger, left-footed. Is he left-footed? I'm not sure. But he plays on the left either way. But he looks like he will run his socks off. And like I say, that if Liverpool's past sort of players that they've bought in that position or anything to go by, then you know that he's probably a surefire hit and he's guaranteed to score a few goals.
Yeah, which leads us on to breaking news. As we did the podcast, it just popped up about Sadio Mane.
I think the signing of Darwin Núñez kind of signalled that anyway, to be honest with you, because he will basically just fill in for him now. He will take over that position, which I think is a little bit of a surprise for me, to be honest with you. I don't know what you think of Sadio Mane, but I think he's incredible.
He's world class.
He is double world class. Like, I can't for 35 million that they're selling him for. I know he's probably got to a point where he wants a different challenge and he wants to move on, so you can't really stand in a player's way. But I think he's going to be a big miss. The
running. Don't get me wrong. He's more than a runner.
Yeah, for sure.
But the work effort he puts in,
exactly. His work ethic, his quality. He's just got that nous to know when to get in the box and where to be at the right time. I think he's going to be a big miss. I really do. Just for how that original front three worked so well, especially obviously they've got Diaz now as well. But Mane, Firmino, Salah, they just worked so well. It was like they just knew what they were doing.
But it evolves. That front three does evolve, doesn't it? Like you've got Jota, obviously, that came in last season, exactly. and then it does evolve.
Yeah, it does.
I think they are a very rare beast, Liverpool, and they, like you said earlier on, they recruit so well,
incredibly well,
for that system, for that position.
It's like they're future-proofing themselves for the next 10 years. Do you know what I mean? The players that they get, they're future-proofing themselves, so they know that if they can, I think it might. I read a quote from Jurgen Klopp saying that Darwin Núñez is a player that they're looking forward to nurturing and showing how to do it, basically, because I don't think it's something you can just pick up and go. Apart from the Diaz, by the way, because he just picked up and went, didn't he?
But when you're losing Mane, and that's fine, Liverpool aren't in a position where they can't have somebody that isn't going to hit the ground running.
He's got to be good to go.
Look at how many points they got this season.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
It's crazy. And the difference between them and Man City was just a few draws, just a few stinky little draws where they
stinky draw.
Exactly. They couldn't quite get over the line. And he's going to have to hit the ground running.
Well, he is, because Man City getting Haaland.
There you go. Man City getting Haaland is, if you had to pick one player that you could almost guarantee would suit Man City down to the ground, it would have to be Erling Haaland.
If you were Pep, right? So here's a question for you. If you were Pep, take away the business side of things, resale value, age, etc., etc. If you were Pep and you had the choice of Haaland, Kane, or Lewandowski, who would you go for?
Oh, that's a disgustingly hard question. That is a really, really tough question.
And the second part, who would win in a fight out of the three of them?
I'd go for Haaland as well.
Yeah.
I think good to go and score your goals. I might go Kane
over Lewandowski.
Over Lewandowski and Erling Haaland. Only we're talking millimeters here, yeah. Well, I'm not bad mouthing any of these players, by the way. We're talking millimeters, but I know that Harry Kane will score you goals.
Harry Kane.
Sorry, I had no sleep last night. I know that he is good to go, and he's a guaranteed goal scorer. However, Erling Haaland, I think, could go on to become better than Harry Kane at scoring goals. And once Man City find a way of working it and something that works, a system that works, he could hit the ground and just absolutely smash it next season.
They can't be beat next season.
Do you want to bet next season? Do you want to bet on how many goals he'll score next year?
Yeah, I do want to have a bet.
All right, how many goals do you think he will score? And I'll say my bet will be above or below.
Okay, he'll be Golden Boot.
Yeah.
And I think he will score 30 or more goals. So I'll say 30.
I'm going to put it out there. He's going to score less. I think he will score less, all right? £100.
What?
£100.
Well, that's not fair, is it?
Why?
Well, so we're there. So you're saying he has... No, I'm not doing £100.
You are some sort of shit house.
Because 30 goals is a massive target.
20 quid.
No.
What?
You're not allowed to bet on it anyway.
That's outrageous. All right, sportsman's bet, yeah?
Sportsman's bet.
I don't think he scores 30 goals, but I think he will score late 20s.
Okay.
Yeah, that was horrible.
We are so jet lagged. We are so jet lagged.
I think he's going to score late 20 goals, but I think he'll absolutely smash it next season. I'm looking forward to seeing him play because he is a beast, mate. He's a brute. He will bully so many people.
Right, okay. Before we go, what have we got? So we've just started season 4 of the Fozcast. What can we expect this season?
We have got some big old names lined up already for this season. We have got a bit of time on our hands now, haven't we? So I think we're looking forward to getting some rattled in the next few weeks and getting as many done as possible. Yeah. We've got an incredibly belting idea for a podcast that we're going to do with Tubes in a week's time.
We are. We're going to put an Instagram post out next week.
It's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Funny one.
A very funny one, yeah. But yeah, just more of the same, to be honest with you, mate. Yeah. We love doing this, and long may it continue.
Right, there we go. So that's season 4, episode 1 done.
Up the Fozcast.
Up the Fozcast. Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of the Fozcast. Don't forget to give us a follow on Spotify. Up the Fozcast.